I'm going to turn it off for just a moment.
Single pound.
Good to go.
Okay, good.
All right.
So that's the frozen spinach.
Yeah, Klaus was very worried about the spinach, so put it into the freezer.
Yeah.
Hello. So it's still frozen?
Yes.
Good.
It's still frozen?
Very good.
Yeah, confirmed.
And there are, so, 2 of these croissants are maple something. Because they only had 10. We cleared out the regular croissants completely.
Okay, and then we have enough.
I think we also finished all of their water.
Because Stefan was worried, but actually it turns out we have 2 of those croissants for everyone, and if you have those, then
Right,
more than that.
right, yeah. No, I think we'll be fine.
If you want some coffee, take some because I'm.
No, we had good coffee.
We had real coffee.
we had proper coffee, yeah, exactly.
Just struck me.
What?
We are gonna make the news. You know why? If any crazy sees this dataset and sees us coming there when turning on camera to synchronize with this QR code, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna have a TV. That's it. They're coming to synchronize chip in a brain and vaccine content. With the latest orders from
from high command.
high command. Mothership is coming.
I mean, now that you mention it, I can tell you that I got a COVID booster vaccination just a week before coming here.
So 5G is already there.
No, 6G.
6G.
His brain interface ready, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I said when I got the first vaccination. It's completely useless. I can't pay with the chip they injected me. I can't open my office store. So what is it for?
Yeah. What's it good for? Exactly.
I went through entire hustle, not once, multiple times.
Yeah, exactly. You know, right?
And I still have to use the phone to check 12 minutes for the oven. And probably I could have done it in the oven if I knew how better.
Yeah, but it's why?
Let's put those croissants on.
No, I wanted to do as much as possible.
Yes. So I'm saying, so two of these croissants, Stefan, are maple something.
You know which ones?
Yeah, they look different.
The ones.
The one on top, this one, yes.
Almonds on top.
Yes.
Right? Okay, then I put them on a separate plate.
Because we cleared out all of the croissants and they had like 4 euros or something like this, so we just.
And how is the store? Is it regular?
Good.
No, just wondering.
It had frozen spinach at least, so.
You know what? You maybe
if you search separately enough.
If it's a really high-end store, they have frozen spinach.
I mean, it's the same place they went to earlier, right? And they didn't find it.
Yeah.
So basically, they have it if you search desperately enough.
So you may be laughing as much as you want, but for a place at the very edge of the continent,
No, apparently.
Is it really sugar? Because I was looking what it is.
Yes, it is.
It's only kind of wet.
Yes.
Can we use it or not?
Yes, sure. It's good. It's sugar.
Then I do it for a coffee.
Apparently, Ballyconneely is not entirely unknown to the Irish population.
Yeah.
It has a beach. People come here to the beach, apparently.
Okay.
The way you presented me, I
Bjorn?
think this
Yes.
is like.
I have a very important task for you.
Ah,
Do you want to lick those clean?
I can do one. But somebody has to look at me right now.
We all look at you. Who wants the other one?
I changed the.
Do we have another grandpa? You know,
No.
he's just looking at his
I grew up.
grandson. And
I grew up doing this. Yes.
Here you go.
I have too much sugar already. Give it to Werner.
Yes. We'll have to do anything with the time. We just turn it on and press go. You off. This is my first time turning it on.
Single tab.
Oh, there is something.
Yeah. Power problem. You have to try again.
Enough power.
Unplug. Turn it off. Unplug. Give it a bit. Try again.
It's good stuff, Luca.
Good, Stefan. Yeah. You're a chef.
This was IKEA actually.
Oh yeah, one's for me. You take your shampoo. We have banana or we have
What is that, man?
banana shampoo.
Banana shampoo. I've never seen this. It looks like
I think
good that you...
Klaus. I think Cathal takes the banana shampoo.
You chose that.
Yeah, no, he chose it. He didn't have enough yesterday.
Come on, guys. There was no pineapple left. So he had to go bananas.
Yep.
Hey, it's good to move that. Cathal, move that shampoo from a kitchen. Somebody's gonna mistake it as a topping for pancakes or something.
Yeah.
There's leftover rice.
Did you get a shampoo, boss? Did he get a shampoo? I bought 3 shampoos. One was for him.
Stefan,
They're done.
pay attention.
It said 12 seconds, but
Did you get a shampoo?
yeah.
No, she's asking now. He bought new shampoos.
Yeah, no.
You got one. Oh.
I'll check.
No, but I have in the supermarket. Did you chose that?
Chose what?
The banana?
Oh no, he chose that.
Coconut and banana. Okay, good. Hair?
I suggested coconut, but
Which one do you want? I think
Coconut or banana?
Chocolate and banana.
Coconut. Put it in your pocket.
Thank you.
Boss.
Good. We have 4 ovens. 4 ovens.
Yes, but this one is really, really weak for some reason. It has also very different units. It's just 0 to 6. All the other ones are with degrees.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming these are 0 to 6 degrees because it was so weak.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
This is probably just for keeping food warm.
Yes.
It might be your
I
defrost
made a
or something.
mistake. I went to the room, but I guess it's okay.
Ugh.
Did you
Take.
ever go?
No,
If you managed to, I went to the room by mistake.
but I mean if you...
There is nothing that is...
Nothing embarrassing.
You mean with the video?
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, okay.
Not sure what stuff you have lying around here.
If Stefan, if you didn't look at your hostages, then you're okay.
Okay. So let's.
Okay. Does anybody want a towel washed?
No, wait a second. Do we have a glove? Glove. This is incredible. So these ones are overdone, and I was looking from there these, and they are not even a kind of.
Exactly, that's what I said. That one is useless.
Sure.
Move it over. Yep.
So let me then decrease this one a little bit.
Anybody else want fresh towels?
Oh,
Washed and dried towels.
Oh,
There's a towel service happening this morning.
I would
There
like
is-
that.
there is
Just
food
because my
though.
towels are so
Good time
damp
to see
and they're
something.
not drying properly.
yeah, go for
See
it.
something. I
You're on
want you
camera.
really to see, like what we were saying yesterday. Look at this. Look at this. They are not even breathing, and this one's overdone. I don't know what's wrong with this.
Okay. My camera work.
Ding, 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 dum.
Anybody else want a towel wash?
Synchronizing.
And then it depends if you do coffee Cathal style
Wait a second, this one is not even working. You see?
Well, it is a bit.
depending on how much coffee.
No, do a proper coffee.
Yeah, I did one in the morning.
Yeah. Don't do it Cathal style, apparently. All right.
Somebody's phone ringing.
Somebody's phone is ringing.
Mine. No. Yeah, look at this. This one's. I was looking at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. Nothing. No. I didn't even start. And these ones were done properly. So this side doesn't work. Anything.
On the left.
Yeah, it works, but very slowly.
Okay.
Actually, Ali, I think it may be related also to what we noticed with some of these. This one, for example, is very crappy.
Yeah.
Was it nice? I said euros already. Plus 5.
That's good.
What is?
So you think that's all together was
Whoa.
200 euros.
Yeah. And what is 14 euros?
Well, it was late.
So 7,
These European
8,
flags are very strong coffee.
So you're playing
9.
your own?
Yeah, solitaire. It's one type of solitaire. So, but if you want to play cards, then
Yeah,
what games do you play?
typically poker, but
Yeah.
I'm open. Open to learn something new.
No, I mean, so you don't have any traditional card games in
In Austria we have Schnapsen.
Schnapsen? What's this?
It's yeah, I don't know. It's a very specific game. It's 4 different colors, 5, I think maybe. Oh.
Anybody? Anybody?
I think six different types per color.
Okay.
And yeah, you play until 65 points.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So it's a different deck.
yeah, a completely different deck.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the cards with me. Maybe with Werner I can play.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we had a game called Rummy
Rummy, yeah.
or something
Rummy.
like this. You know this?
I know.
So where you can put down sequences or matching things. All right. So let's see if we're talking about the same game.
I think it's a very long time ago I played that probably.
So you can
Okay, but you need to remember me.
put down sequences
Yeah.
of. So the goal is to get rid of your cards, right?
Yes.
And every turn you have to draw one. You have to put down one. And in between,
Okay.
you may put down either sequences of same suit, or you can put down like 3 or 4 threes or 3 or 4 fours.
Okay. And what
I think so. It's just at the end, whoever wins, you basically get the points left on their. No, sorry. You get the points here, but they just count normal.
yeah.
Like you just count, so 10 is a 10, Jack is 11, and so on. And then you subtract whatever you have on your hand.
Okay. But if I put down 3 fours, for example.
Yes, that's just 12.
Just 12. And
Yes.
I put also 4, 5, 6, but it must be of the same color, right?
Yes,
Okay.
or
I
same
got
suit,
it.
yes.
Yes. Okay, and I start with.
Yes, you start, you have to draw,
Draw first.
always draw, and always put down.
Okay. Then
And I think, the deuces are wild, so you can use them, they're wild cards. So you can use them for anything.
the 2 is a wild card.
Yes. So in the way you used to play, you cannot actually put down on the first round. So neither of us can put down the first round. So that's,
Okay.
just to,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but then you have to end up by putting a card down,
Aha, here. Okay.
right?
Yes.
And you can draw. So the options are: you can draw one from here. You can take the top card,
Aha.
or you can take the entire stack.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Entire stack from here.
yes.
Yeah.
So now, for example, I'm gonna go for this.
I think. Break
Now I'm
this.
gonna go for this. Actually, now I'm gonna put this down. And if you put something down and you have one more card, that matches, you can put down. You can extend on your side.
Yes.
Right. So now you can do this.
I can put down maybe this one, right?
Yes. Exactly.
Yes, and I can. Oh,
I did
good.
actually.
You don't think it's yours?
I think it is.
So now, so 2s are wild. So I can extend yours.
So you can extend mine also.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And then this is 4 aces, and I say rummy.
Okay, so you're done. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good.
And basically, the rule was that when counting, we used to count the 2s as 2 here, but if they're on your hand, they're 20.
The 2s, really?
Yes, because they're a wild card. And so if you leave them, if you haven't used them,
And a queen and a king, and they're all 10.
no, they're 10, 11, 13, I think.
Okay.
Maybe they're all 10s. But this one is basically on the table it's 2, on your hand is 20. Anyway,
Good to know.
anyway.
Okay.
So I think these are the rules that I can remember.
There was a glue. There was
We have twins in our village that played this through school, and they had a book and they were writing down scores, and they did this like for months at some point, always keeping track of the scores, and it's going up and down, of course, normally around 0.
Incredible.
Yeah.
How many cards do
8, 3, 2, 3. 3, and then 2, and then 3.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
In real life, in chess.
Okay.
And there was if you put down like everything, if you close by, so not on the first round, remember? If you close by emptying your hand completely, that would give like a 50 bonus points, something like this. Yeah.
Then you don't paint it first.
And you can only put down the same type if there are at least 3.
At least 3, yes. Yeah. So you can always only put down 3, and like 3 is the minimum.
Okay.
Now you can draw, put down whatever you want.
Okay. So, and I can also use this white card here, right?
Yes, you can.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, for me as a strategy.
I have also the white card here.
Okay. There you go. Yes.
Yeah,
Then you can
I
close.
say rummy.
Yes. All right. I was gonna say if you couldn't finish, then I would not use the wild card.
Yes.
Because I would keep it as an option for extending, because you might get you might get 9, 10, you might get a jack here,
Yes,
and then 2 wild cards would actually work, right? But in this case, it doesn't matter, right? Yes, nice,
Okay,
good.
It's a funny game.
It's a good game. You can and it extends nicely to 3-4 people. So it's not just a 2-person game. Beyond that, you start to run out of cards. And the most fun is when you have a big stack and you get everything, because then you can, even if you lose the game, you can sometimes get lots and lots and lots of points.
Oh, I see.
If you're counting the points, it can actually pay off.
Yeah. So I have to draw one.
Yeah, always draw.
And put down one.
Yes.
Not sure which one, but yeah.
Yeah, because you don't know anything. You don't know anything about my hand yet. So.
Turn on the camera.
Yeah.
Look at his camera.
Look at my camera. It's not. Doesn't have a picture, right?
In the front, he means.
Yeah, but it's a reflection.
Oh, right. And of course we should turn down. You see it?
Almost.
But we should do this, right? It's to catch the hands. All right.
This is funny. Okay.
Yeah. Go.
It's your turn, right?
No, I put down.
It's mine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, Brexit.
Yeah.
Maybe this one.
Change seats.
My turn.
I'm gonna take the stack. Yeah, maybe not the best move. Like this.
I did not manage to take your rook all the way back there.
This one.
That would be quite impressive.
Okay.
Rotation.
Very good.
Sorry, there are 2 seats.
Alright.
We should go and have breakfast.
Yeah, let's finish the game. Yeah, I want to see.
This is not good. But I have to draw one.
Yeah, always.
Or did I draw already?
No, you didn't.
You're right, you know. Chilled orange juice. Make them concentrate.
No, not good. I don't like
I
that.
feel like make them concentrate just means this is already pre-mixed in one.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh. Yes. Okay. Rummy. It's a card game. You can check the video. No, it's you basically the goal is to get rid of the cards. You can put down like rows of suits, so like 4, 5, 6 in the same color, or you can put down like 5, 5, 5 in different colors, always at minimum 3. 2s are wild, and then you always have to draw. You also have to put down a card, and then whoever gets rid of the cards first wins.
No, that's the idea.
That's a rough idea.
Okay.
So now we had very short games so far, and now it's a longer one. And you can draw one here, one from the top, or you can take the whole stack.
You can draw from that, like that too?
Yes.
And now he's
Now I closed.
Oh my
Rummy.
God.
That was the card I needed.
All right, so let's go.
Good. I also explained the rules, right? So now this game is indestructible. All right.
High protein, high fat.
I go.
In and out, hamburgers is a point.
What?
To change
If
position.
everything is
Yes,
high,
yes, yes.
doesn't that mean everything is medium?
It's all equalized.
All right. So I'm gonna go for this.
High alcohol, high caffeine.
This is concentrate, right? You need to put water in.
Keep talking.
The milk is not concentrate.
Milk concentrate.
You only have one life to do well.
Well, there is such a thing, you know.
All right. And then there is no orange juice that cannot be better by shaking it well.
Apparently, we didn't shake it, so we have the orange water.
We
Yes.
have to take it.
No, I shook,
There is no.
I shook one of the orange juices.
Okay.
I don't know which one.
Oh, you're drinking
Oh, there's
orange.
no bits. There's no bits.
Orange in a Guinness.
There's no bits of concentrate.
Yeah, but it's every orange juice gets better by shaking. It gets more frothy and
So, which one
even,
by
but with bits especially. Yeah.
well, which one was remade?
So
I think I'm also gonna try one chocolate to see what's going on.
Yes, it's very nice. I eat these as well.
Actually, I try one
Yeah.
normal one.
Stone and like
yes, I want. Do we have
I have a milk.
You can buy them in Dunn's and cook them.
Somebody.
We're looking for butter.
butter and cheese?
I don't think we have butter.
Oh, we have a cheese. Shall I cut some cheese?
No, you're the hardest person to get out. Stay where you are.
Yes,
Okay, sit down.
Hey, but we need some cheese, maybe.
Cheese and butter.
cheese and butter.
We bought some nice apple
In our
butter.
fridge?
Yeah. So just like bring the cheeses and
I'll
one
take
board
it.
for cutting and a knife.
Okay.
They are in the door.
These
you
are
know?
pretty good.
Yeah.
IKEA.
IKEA.
They're from IKEA.
No,
They're from IKEA.
Some assembly required.
They come with the screws and everything, you know.
No.
minimal assembly required.
Yep. Parts might be missing.
I didn't know what to do till you're back, so I put some egg on top. Probably totally unnecessary.
So here's the butter.
Ah, thank you.
That's the good butter.
Yeah, totally.
That we use for cooking a lot for the Irish breakfast.
I use the other one because this one's salted.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
The other
Some
one
cheese.
was not salted.
And do we have board for cutting? Maybe board for cutting, like the plastic board?
Yeah.
You start making your own butter.
Awesome. French Gruyere.
You need a cow though. To do it properly.
Are you fine with this one?
No, anything.
Dean doesn't eat butter. I eat my own butter. He's kind of eating another kind of butter. So,
IKEA cheese. Before you open that one, maybe you want to use the one that's
Yeah,
totally.
totally.
I did not think that you were serious when you said you bought more cheese, but now we have.
Apparently-
I think if we only had the cheese, we would not
Oh,
starve.
this is IKEA cheese, eh?
There's enough calories
No, that's cherry.
to
Oh,
last
like
the whole
this.
day.
It's
Honestly, I think at the end of the week it's just
Oh
all
no,
going.
there is.
It's just
We are all going to be cheese. We're
All right.
converging towards cheese.
Unusual.
We're
Exactly.
eating-
am I
We're
wrong?
eating a little bit of everything,
The right.
but the cheese replenishes much faster than the rest.
You're good.
This is not really
Is
the
that
best
tea?
knife for this, but
The teapot? Yes. This is tea.
Not sure. Is it done already or?
I would like some ice.
Okay, do it now.
This one is also.
Attention is very full.
Oh.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I see.
Saved.
That's fine. Thanks.
Another one. Oh my god.
You have 2 each.
No,
So I'm cutting some cheese for whoever wants.
Thank you. I can take. You need to cut more.
Yeah, no, okay. So there are more different types of cheeses. Yeah.
Good cheese.
That went fast. I shouldn't have said till I'm done.
Yeah.
Angry seagulls / scavengers.
Yeah.
I think we have probably a better knife for this somewhere, this would be with this cheese. Let's take some other.
So this is some pecan maple things. These two.
Oh,
I think.
No, not these two.
Not these two. Sorry. These two. These two.
pecan maple.
that looks nice, yeah.
Maybe
AI.
maybe I bring a knife and you split it, or you
I mean, we can just grab it.
Yes, just put it out. Are you sure?
No, this is fine.
More vintage cheddar coming. Vintage cheddar. Oh, this is very vintage.
What's that cheese?
What do they mean by vintage? Somebody forgot it for a few seasons.
This is pistachio, though.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Could be.
Cheese?
I mean, it's good.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, I forgot and I was guessing.
Oh, no, it's the same.
Storage of that.
Pistachio, but it's maple,
The way
right?
you eat it.
Oh, that's this cheese that we forgot from 10 years ago. Let's kind of let's call it vintage and declare it the future, you know.
You know the big ones each?
Yeah.
So, vintage cheddar.
No, too much.
Guys,
Oh, did you manage
Catch,
to
vintage
finish
cheddar.
the whole thing with Bjorn?
Yes.
No, we haven't done it.
I'll try.
Oh, okay.
this is good.
I will.
Let's leave it here.
Maybe I put this in because this is a bit too far.
It's good.
It's very full, so
It's quite good.
Be
Not
careful
his
pulling the
1
first one.
kilogram steak.
Then we have
Christmas
also
celebration.
gabines. Gabines. Oh, this is some Irish magic.
This Christmas? Oh no, like at his house?
The workshop should be starting now, right?
Yeah, let's get through a bit.
I don't know.
Guys, I
Okay.
think
No.
cheese.
Boss?
Yes.
Speech.
Oh, I
Coffee.
thought he wants some speech.
Who's speaking?
Bjorn?
No. I didn't do anything.
Hang on.
Yeah, put it here and I'll move it.
No, not this one. Yeah.
Bjorn has something to say.
No.
Please, Bjorn, stand up.
Yeah, he already said something like, I'll try to translate. It sounded like,
I'll put it you take it from there. No.
So officially the workshop for today has now begun.
Yeah.
Our task for today is as follows. We must decide on what is the appropriate task for a grand challenge in HCM multimedia, and we will consider a hackathon as well, but multimedia is the key thing today. We were given the money by SIGMM. They requested that we run something that's like VBS or LSC, or VBS and LSC actually, at HCM Multimedia. Get together, figure it out, do it.
And it has to be interactive.
You didn't say that, but since I said it has to be like, it should be like VBS/LSC, it probably is something with an interactive element to it. Data set released, bit of training data, maybe a closed workshop and a public open session. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That is what I think is gonna, I think this one, sorry. I think it's gonna happen. And
Yes. Thank you.
so looking for something that's not the obvious. Release a data set, set a date, get people together, run a challenge, give some topics, Q&A and ad hoc, and see what happens. That's the default approach. Is there something you want to do that's better or more novel than that? Does anybody have any ideas? Let's worry about the challenge first or the hackathon second.
Well, the question is, does the challenge have to have one single task, or could it be multiple ones?
It's up to us. There's a
Because
workshop, and well, no, I imagine there will be an associated workshop and a grand challenge tied to the workshop.
Because I think there have.
I vote multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also thinking, like, I mean, given the bias we'll have in the data set, there is a lot on research on multimedia for cooking, eating. So basically, one task would be basically do whatever you have on your data set and just test it on this data set. Don't use any training data from this data set. See how this transfers to new data. And of course, I guess we want to do something like more LSC style interactive queries. I mean, from the backlog of things that we want to do, is one thing that we always for VBS also had was trying to see how precisely you phrase queries or how simple you keep the language. There is always this tension between use simple words that everyone understands versus being precise. So that might be something also to study, but this is of course needs comparison. So either you split it at two groups. If we have enough participants, that
looks a little
would
scary.
work, but we don't know in advance probably.
Because I think we should like build a hybrid benchmark for everyone to compare them, when they raise a new idea. But for annual competition, we should like change the task to a new one and motivate them to create a new idea or change the method to compete with other teams. So yeah, that's my idea.
The usual grand challenge formats, which I think we should stick to at least for the part that we label as grand challenge, is an asynchronous operation. You get your data, you get your task, you get your time to process, to do whatever it is you think you need to do to solve the task. You send in your results, you get your scores back, and there's going to be result presentation of everybody or the top scoring teams depending on
It's not very alike to LSE and VBS.
Yeah, I mean this is
have to be
something
live.
we can do on top of this. That we have a session where something happens live. But
I think that's what they literally asked us. I mean, that's one thing that makes this format very unique, this interaction.
Right.
And why is it kind of, I think, interesting that we look at some form of interaction in the age of these conversational systems, because these are conversational systems been from the beginning.
So we can do some kind of data mining where they build a system, a more like exploration system, and then at the challenge we will have very specific questions for that. For example, like regarding group dynamics, so they will have to build a system that can visualize the group dynamics and show some kind of interaction that more and very user experience based. And then at the challenge we ask some question live, and they have to use the system to answer that. It's like who did I talk to the most today or something like that. But these questions are only released at the challenge live.
Yeah, so I would just not limit it to something like this, because the barrier of entry for these sort of things is very high. Right, so you need a complete stack to be able to do this interaction.
Asynchronous and synchronous.
Yes. Yeah. Whereas if you just give out some tasks, people can put some algorithms together however they want. It only needs to run exactly once on whatever resources they might have, and they can produce those results. Right? This might not cover all the things, but it is certainly for some interesting tasks, it might be entirely sufficient that they can build the thing. It runs on whatever they have. It will take a while to run. We will produce some output. We will look at the output and tell them how well they did.
So something that has a low barrier to entry, asynchronous submission to take part in the Grand Challenge, but there is an interactive element to the Grand Challenge, which is tied to a workshop, which is somehow different than a hackathon.
And I guess the hackathon should have all the things we can not evaluate, whereas there either we don't have a ground truth, or there cannot be a ground truth because there is some ambiguity in there. Whereas the challenges should have a clear mechanism by which you can tell, okay, how much of this you got right.
We kind of do this with NTCIO, right? That email I send out periodically and everybody ignores. We kind of do this with NTCIO, where we do have this asynchronous challenge. You build your system, we give you the queries, which we've got to look at today at least. Haven't seen them yet, no. We released the queries. The queries are more descriptive than an LSE query. It has a title, a description, and then a narrative that says, eating breakfast is relevant only if it includes Werner. There's some description like that that makes it very, very clear. And people do that in their own time. By a certain date, they submit the runs. We pool all people's runs together and generate the ground truth. Right? We don't evaluate everything. It's not a complete ground truth. It's a pooled ground truth. So it's never going to be perfect, but it's going to be sufficient to differentiate systems. That we can do, not a bother. Okay, that's simple. We do that already. The challenge here is that it's probably a bit more difficult data to work with, but that's great. Then we can do some really interesting interactive things at the workshop, where the queries are different, like some kind of, really there's this interaction queries that we have. So the time I was talking to Ali about the NTCR queries we hadn't yet released. What was the outcome of that? What was the outcome of that conversation? Those kind of things, much nicer things to do. And that's really interesting, I think, for an interactive challenge. Not just find it,
but this is a different. This is also somewhat difficult to evaluate, because I mean, you need to phrase this very precisely, because what was the outcome of this conversation is not something that has a precise answer.
But that's what we do with the judges, right? The judges make decisions in these
but
systems.
I currently what we have is like the judges get something that is a very short answer with some degrees of freedom. But if you like ask for outcome of a conversation, you could write a paragraph on that.
Yeah. Okay. We limit the like we do this with the Q&A things already. What airline? Oh, Turkish Airlines or whatever, Turkish. Fine, they're both okay.
We do it. We only don't phrase it like that. So basically, how the queries in a non-item, and I think not in ad hoc, but in non-item, I think are formulated. That's multi-turn retrieval. If we don't go for a full conversation, but conversational search, for example, that's pretty much how you formulate and evaluate queries already. You provide a bit of information, then people start looking, then it's funny, on the microphone people say, okay, nobody finding, and then typically Werner or you kind of says, additional piece of information, like that girl running up the hill with the father towards the flag. Then you provide the next bit of information.
But what is the target? Is it a pure retrieval task, as in find the end of this conversational chain for this example,
That's easier.
or is it a
Easier to
you need to somehow summarize this conversation into 2 phrases?
Evaluating summary is super difficult.
But outcomes.
Most of us did it at some point.
Maybe my example was bad. It doesn't necessarily have to be the outcome of a conversation. It can be the outcome of cooking breakfast on the 3rd day. How many croissants were left? Whatever is that kind of query. Right? You make the query something that actually you can identify and you can be pretty sure is correct or reasonably correct.
Yes, but
Probably
this is a easy fact finding, and then you could either have a pure value as a result, as in I did something, my answer is 3. I'm not going to tell you how I got to it, or you have to actually identify the croissants and say, well, show me all the instances, and then I can go, oh yeah, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. There's actually
It
does
3
solve
at this
the
point,
issue.
yeah.
The issue at IV or 4B, where one of the teams, actually on and on's team, the guy was guessing the answers.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And he guessed it right twice.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Very badly. Very badly.
Yes.
So you're moving towards like reasoning,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
providing evidence.
Yeah.
That's what Trekvi did. You remember multimedia event detection was, and that was what they call summarization. It was a bit of a blasphemy to call it a summarization because it was just evidence, you know.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I mean, I guess you can get to multiple levels. You can just provide an explanation and say, because I have seen those things on 3 pictures. That's how I come. Or you really provide a list of evidence and say, this is the picture, this is the picture.
Yeah, you can provide a timestamp.
That's asynchronous then, right?
meta task was asynchronous.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it in a synchronous thing as well if you have a system doing it. But of course, if you do that in an interactive way and you have things that the user reasoned and the system doesn't know about, then it gets difficult. Yeah, but at least, I mean, I guess it could be interesting to build a system that also can keep this evidence. So basically, that when you provide the answer, you have the things you looked at and say, well, this is the information I used to come up with the answer.
Right.
I would like to bring an additional aspect to this discussion, because the grand challenge traditionally was always funded by companies, and in a way that they also get some output, right? And even though I fully agree with all of you that we need interactive challenges, I think for the grand challenge at ACM Multimedia, we could also maybe do some subtasks like labeling. For example, many people in multimedia are working on food recognition. So it could be a collaborative annotation task also. And then later on, from that collaborative annotation, we could extract metadata and later on maybe use it for the interactive challenges as a ground truth, even though it might not be completely correct, of course.
But as a challenge, if you put it as a challenge, how do you evaluate it? I mean, the challenge has kind of this competition character.
Is that not the hackathon stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's
because
more
looking
hackathon,
looking at what came out of that meeting in ACM Multimedia on the first morning, it was a health-based hackathon is what they wanted to do. And we're naturally going to feed into that if we use this data.
I mean, there's some very interesting things we can do about this. I mean, for example, all of these things have barcodes on them.
Right.
So you can cross-reference this with the International Product Database and know exactly what this was, and then you can track how much of this happens to be fresh milk by apple grade. How much of this was consumed over what amount of time, right? And I mean, essentially, it will be difficult to track who actually consumed what, but the methodology would be applicable if you have a smaller group of people. For a health tracking, you can say, okay, what did I actually eat? What is my nutritional profile, just based on things I've seen. This sort of stuff. I think this would be fascinating for a hackathon. It would be very difficult for the grand challenge, because how do you evaluate this? Because we are not all secretly keeping track and having ground truth.
Maybe just one comment to this, because TrackWit also does this part-based evaluation, right? Where they evaluate with some manual effort 10% of the submissions, and then approximate how much there will be.
Yeah, but if you do that, for example, with product annotations, I mean, even 10% is
It's a
crazy amount of work.
You're right.
So there are some grand challenges if you look at it. The way I kind of participated also in some, and the one that we won in New Yorker melange that was 10 years ago with Gonza. That one was brought by IBM, and because they were based in New York, like they wanted really. This is the definition of grand challenge. We want to show New York using all this wealth of social media data from different perspectives. So competing teams had totally different solutions. Very interesting. Somebody focused on a fashion of the city, like it's city of fashion,
right?
Recommender systems, location recommender systems, and so on and so on. So when I'm speaking about grand challenges, they have also tradition of these open-ended tasks. So in that sense, what we kind of discuss now as a hackathon could also fit grand challenge.
Right. But there the checking wasn't on individual items whether they're correct or not. It was really on the overall look and feel of the thing.
Okay, but this is the more you have a jury that looks at this sort of stuff.
Absolutely, yes.
It's more the look and the feel of the thing. It's more than
essentially grade the creativity and the quality of the output.
Presentation also.
Yes.
Conference,
Yeah, I mean this is also something that would be interesting to do. But I guess this would be 2 tracks within something like this, right? But the more qualitative versus the more quantitative.
Well, in that case, there was only the one, right? There was only one track of that grand challenge.
There was only one track because at that time for the community was really important to see what can we do. Everybody talks about this social multimedia wealth and so on. What can we do, and let's start moving into building some systems that actually use it for something useful, either tracking fashion trends, Hong Kong people did this, or location recommenders, what we did, and a few other groups as well, and so on and so on and so on. I'm just like saying here, there are many possibilities. It doesn't have to be really classic computer vision segmentation task or detection.
You can also track our fashion. Maybe find out who is wearing the same shirt or something.
You changed, No, I mean, I changed not to be the same as you, and he said we both changed.
Fashion anti-recommendation.
There's just something that is difficult to handle, and especially coming back to the interactive part of things, right?